Yes. Oh, I see. There we go. So welcome to the Thursday night Dhamma reflection. Start with homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Budang Dhammang Sangham Namasami. So tonight, or whatever time period you're watching this, from whatever time zone you're in, we're going to reflect on the Brahmaviharas, the four loving kindness, compassion, resonant joy, and equanimity, and how those mesh with the 7 factors of enlightenment, and that can be a support for awakening, a support for our meditation practice, and that there's an unbounded quality that all of these 4 and 7 factors coming together can really be supported. There's a phrase that's repeated in a number of suttas in parts, and then in one of the suttas it's pulled together, that this practice of the Brahmaviharas and the practice of the awakening factors rely on seclusion, fading away, and cessation. And they ripen in letting go. So they ripen in Nibbana. And that the meditative process is abundant, expansive, limitless, and free of ill will. And I say meditative, but I don't just mean on the cushion practice. I do mean also the qualities of heart that we can carry out into the world, into our interactions with others, into the interactions with ourselves, and into all of the aspects of supporting our life and the lives around us. So this is meditative, reflective now, but these qualities are something that really form the net that holds us as we practice out in the world too. So I'll go over what these 7 and 4 things are briefly at the beginning here, and then we'll do a guided practice and then go into silence. I'll bring my clock over so I can have some sense of that. And so then we'll have a period where we sit together in silence and just allow our own meditative process to either reflect on the qualities I've mentioned, or just to naturally go into whatever stilling or investigation, insight practice that you're attuned to based on the reflection today. So I mentioned the Brahmaviharas, and I'll get back to them again. So essentially, I think of the Brahmaviharas as kind of the heart quality, the tone that I'm holding as I do any of the practices, whether I'm practicing with, I said before the recording started, just before this, Ayya Suvijana and I were attending a webinar on the possibility of composting the body after death, so that the body itself then is the process is very carbon neutral. It takes a lot less energy to process the body, and B, it actually is a gift then back to the earth. And it goes to restoring the center that's closest to us, goes into restoration of lands on the Olympic Peninsula. So we're looking into that one. And as I watched the webinar and all of the aspects of it, I actually had my screen up about the Brahma Viharas and the awakening factors so that I could practice while listening to this about the decay, the decomposition of the body, and about, you know, what happens to the bones, relating to the families, all of the questions around end of life in us. So this is one critical topic that we all will encounter for ourselves or for our loved ones. And can we bring those qualities of care and the aspects of what is supportive for awakening when we work with even such a topic as this? So the factors of awakening, or I like to say the factors toward awakening, you know, the characteristics that we cultivate that culminate in awakening. The first in the list is sati, and that's often called mindfulness. Especially in meditation, I like to think of it as awareness, the being present with. So as we sit, or whatever posture you're doing your meditation in, are we being present with? Are we bringing awareness to what's present right now? That's the quality of sati. The next is Dhammavicaya. And Dhammavicaya is examination of the current reality, just as it is. So you have your awareness, your sati, and then there is kind of this discernment that happens as if you're doing a body scan, as you scan through the body and you're sensing the feel, the Vedana, the tone, as you go through the body, then it's examining the reality that you're encountering, applying the awareness, and seeing it just as it is, not overlaying anything else. Then virya, often called energy. I like to say it's a balanced application of attention, and it's attention towards abandoning what's unwholesome and nourishing what's wholesome. So as we're in our practice and we're, for example, scanning through the parts of the body, okay, I'm feeling a pushing away from some particular aspect of the body, whether that's a particular body part or whether that is a pain that's in the body or some other uncomfortable sensation. That the way that I'm attending and that what's coming up, I want to set aside the aversion aspect of it. And we bring in other tools to be able to help us set aside. Or if I'm, finding myself attracted or, really enlivened in a kind of agitating way, then that's a hindrance. And so the virya helps us to apply the balance and say, I can set that aside. And when we're looking on with a sense, and we'll get to an equanimity and equipoise, and we're looking on with that kind of quality, and we're not dissociative, we're attentive, but we're doing it with care, we can cultivate that, we can lift that, we can bring that further into fruition. So that's virya. And then piti. This one, in the sense of, as we're doing it with the Brahma Viharas in a reflective process, I like to think of it as a bright, warmth, heartfelt joy. So it's the kind of joy that is comfortable and pervading and pervasive and drenching the body, filling the mind with brightness and warmth. So it's a sustainable joy. And all of these awakening factors, they really are a balancing thing. that happens. Next, balancing would be passaddhi. And this is attending with, that when we're attending, we're unruffled, we're serene, peaceful. So it's the quality of peacefulness. We still have the awareness, the examination, that balance of choicefulness. We've got the joy, but there is a serenity, a peacefulness, unruffled. So whatever it is that we arise as we're doing the meditation practice, we're unruffled. And then samadhi. This is a stilling, composure and stability. So the qualities that I sense as I'm bringing in the samadhi factor for my practice is a sense of composure. There's this dignified stability, and it is a stilling in the mind. The mind, it is not slow, it's unruffled and smooth. The last is upekkha, and this actually appears in both the lists of the Brahma Viharas. It's the 4th there, and it's the 7th in the awakening factors. As an awakening factor, I like to think of it as poised and non-reactive. We all probably experience as we meditate things that cause a quavering or that bring about a reaction. And what this is a non-reactive acknowledgement of what is. So we still have the examination of what's reality. It's not a spiritual bypass. It is seeing what it is with non-reactivity, looking on with balance and composure. And from that, we may apply the different Brahma Viharas to then take action in our meditation for our well-being at this time, or to take action in the world post meditation. So it's seeing things clearly and not being wavered by it. Going back to the Brahma Viharas, so we've got these qualities of the awakening factors, and that's a whole body, whole mind experience that's coming up into a very dignified, safe, stable, honest alignment with reality. And the characteristic of the heart that is threaded all through that is goodwill, a loving friendliness. I love this phrase in the suttas of looking with kindly eyes. So whatever it is that I'm in reflection on or meditation, can I view it with kindly eyes? And then the karuna, so that was the metta. The karuna, that's a well-wishing, a caring quality. It's compassion. And so when I'm sensing or seeing or feeling or what's coming up in the mind has a quality that feels like it needs care. This is that sense of care and well-wishing, the ability to hold it and respond. And then mudita is appreciating the easeful or happy conditions. And that can be conditions for ourselves or conditions for other beings in the world. We've had a lot of wonderful practice with these tiny bunnies that come to the back behind our house. The deer, the squirrels, the birds. We've now got hummingbirds, insects, all sorts of beings. And lately, management from has been coming by, so we've been meeting people who take care of the facilities, and just seeing whatever condition in them is uplifted, whatever condition in them is feeling nourished. So we get to put some of the extra bits that we have to share, and then we can actually see that nourishment happening in the life right behind the Vihara. So that's a mudita that's arising. And then again, upekkha. And that's non-reactive, balanced equipoise, a sense of equipoise, this poise that allows me to see but not dissociate from, to still be engaged with, to still have the heart open, to be able to relate to and hold. Upekkha has a capacity of holding. So I'm going to leave it there for the introduction of the Brahma Viharas and Bhojangas. And I'll just repeat that, that phrase. This relies on seclusion, fading away and cessation, and ripens as letting go. So what we're doing in this practice here, we're providing seclusion by coming to whatever reflection space or meditation posture. We've, kind of separated from the world for this time. There's a fading away as we practice of the external connections. There's a cessation for now of the hindrances as we go through the practice. And what this does is it ripens as letting go. So today, maybe that occurs for you. Maybe that is a result that you see here and now. But if not, you're putting in the seeds for that ripening. And the way we'll practice is as we do with the Brahma Viharas, abundant, expansive, limitless, and free of ill will. So with that, I'll start the guided meditation. You may already be in a posture that feels supportive enough to be sustained for the next 40 minutes. If not, make whatever adjustments feel like this will have enough ease that I can maintain this posture and is not such that I'm going to just fall asleep. So, and if you need to adjust during this time, do so with the awakening qualities as you act, as you move the body. And we'll start by, sensing that we're in a body, that our space of practice is this body right now. And have a sense of that body contacting whatever the surface is below you, the floor, a cushion, a chair. Feeling that support, that contact, that connection. And noticing, for me, the belly. Is it soft? Is it as relaxed as it can be in this posture? Is there any extra tension I can let go of? Other common areas are the pelvic floor, the jaw, the tongue, the forehead. Just noticing for yourself. Is there any tension that I could allow to soften right now? So, for example, letting the tongue hang loose in the mouth. Letting the shoulders just settle. Letting the belly plop loose. And from whatever relaxation this might have, noticing the breathing. Letting the in-breath fill the body as if it fills the entirety of the body. No pressure, just letting that sense of the breath move into the body. And you can think that on the out breath, it's leaving the body in all directions. What's really is awareness in all directions, riding the breath into all of the body and out in all directions, just naturally. There's no pressure, it's just awareness. This is the process of breathing. And then often it's the heart center where we can really cultivate that sense of goodwill, warmth, well-wishing. A warm-heartedness. It's easy for me to bring that little bunny into my heart. Feel the warmth, the smile I have for the little bunny or the squirrels playing, the hummingbird receiving nectar from the flowers, the herbs. A warm heart, a loving heart, a friendly heart. And allowing that to seemingly ride on the breath of awareness as it radiates in all directions. Allowing it to ride the in breath into all parts of the body. Our sati, our awareness, suffused with loving friendliness. Traveling internally, traveling externally. So with this first Brahmavihara and the first of the awakening factors, I'll be quiet for a little bit as you just play and explore gently this sense of awareness suffused with the warmth of loving kindness, internally and externally, unbounded, limitless, free from ill will. aware of the sensations internally, aware of the sounds and sensations externally. Whether your eyes are open or closed, it's a sense of kindly eyes. And then whatever this mind's eye meets, we can apply the investigation of things as they are. If you wish, this can be a noting practice with a word. I tend to note it with just the heart's knowing. It's like this. With a warm, kind heart knowing, it's like this. And this gentle curiosity of Dhamma Vijaya has no limits. Anything the mind's eye is directed towards can be viewed in the qualities of Dhamma with a warm and balanced heart. The wisdom that underlies this examination helps us discern is the right move of energy towards compassion or joy. Compassion for the circumstances that are arising in the body or the mind, the heart, or joy for this practice we're undertaking right now. This is Virya, and it too can be unbounded, limitless. And appropriately applied to the reality of right now. The awareness and investigation can be gently applied to keep the energy just at the level needed. But the compassion and the joy themselves are unbounded, reaching to whatever object our mind's eye meets, our heart's eye meets. This process can naturally create, develop a heartfelt joy. And we can allow that to meet everything unbounded. We can also direct the mind back to whatever that object of love and kindness, for example, the bunny, the hummingbird, the earth itself. To bring a little more warmth into the heart and into the way we're relating to the practice right now. And balancing this heartfelt joy is the unruffled peacefulness, serenity. This can be helped with a conscientious relaxation, returning to check, is the tongue loose in the mouth, the belly loose, are the shoulders draped and soft. It's like the sense of resting in a hammock, aware of the practice, the body, the world, but serene amidst it all. And that this can be unbounded, comes from a composure and stability, a steadiness, resting on the earth, dignified in the stance of meditation. Mental space stilling. Attending to this quiet, still with the warmth of the heart. Looking on with balance and composure. There are a lot of elements to this meditation, the 4 Brahmaviharas and the 7 awakening factors. This is like an orchestra playing a symphony. Each of these instruments coming together and creating the right tones for a liberating, balanced, beautiful letting go. So I will be quiet for the next 20 minutes after I read through the list one more time. And take the practice in whatever ways feel uplifting and nourishing for you. The Brahma Viharas, metta, goodwill, loving friendliness, looking with kindly eyes. Karuna, compassion, well-wishing, caring. Mudita, appreciating the easeful or happy conditions. Softening in the joy of good conditions. Upekkha, non-reactive, balanced equipoise. And the Bojjhanga's awakening factors. Sati, awareness, being present with. Dhammavichaya, examination of current reality, just as it is. Virya, balanced application of attention, abandoning unwholesome and nourishing wholesome. Piti, bright warmth, heartfelt joy. Pasadi, unruffled, serene, peaceful. Samadhi, stilling, composure, and stability. Upekkha, poised, non-reactive, looking on with balance and composure. As we near the end of meditation together, you're invited to reflect. How have these Brahma-viharas and awakening factors contributed to your practice today? What is the state of the heart right now? May all beings be well. If you wish, you can join in a closing homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Svakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammam Namasami Supatipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sangham Namami. May this practice nourish you today and for many, many days to come.